There you go.
Hi guys, welcome to Diggermate's webinar. We've got a session today with our founder Mick, introducing myself, James Young from the DC Strategy team. We're a leading franchise consultancy group that works very closely with Mick in helping people like yourself learn more about the opportunity with Diggermate. So today, a great chance to learn more from the founder, and over to you, Mick, for a bit of insight.
Cool, thanks. So yeah, really excited about this webinar. We're just going to whip through, hopefully we'll get it done in about 30 minutes or 40 minutes or so. We're just going to talk through, we'll probably answer as many questions as we can for you around Diggermate that you may have from me. So obviously each of you have spoken to James or one of the team there at DC Strategy. I just thought it'd be a good idea to get on this webinar and let you know a little bit about me and a little bit about the story behind Diggermate and the operations behind Diggermate. So basically, I'll just tell you my story and how the group came about. So I'm just going to fix up this webinar here. There we go. So basically, Diggermate for me started 5 or 6 years ago. I had another business, which was a boat dealership, actually, in a lifestyle business, which was really, really fun to be involved in. But at the time, it was very seasonal. In summer, it would be really great, and in winter, it would be really quiet. So I was always looking for something to even out my financial highs and lows, basically. So I had the opportunity to get involved in Diggermate. I actually hired an excavator one day and started hiring it out, and it turned into a business for me. So the great thing that I found about this business and the thing that I liked about it was that unlike my seasonal business, month in, month out, we could try different things in Diggermate, test them out 1 month. If it worked, that's great. We can improve on it. If it didn't work, then we can change it the next month. So over a span of 12 months, we had 12 shots at getting it right as far as improving our business. Whereas my previous business to that, we basically had 1 shot a year at getting it right. It was a seasonal business. It was a summertime business. And if we didn't get it right once, then in that 1 shot during summer, we would have to wait a whole nother season to have another crack at it. So Diggermate really took off quite quickly for me because I was right into testing, and still am on a monthly basis. We test different things in Diggermate, and we've seen great improvement in what we've done just through the process of trying, testing. So so yeah, that was my introduction to it. That's how I got involved in it, and why it appealed to me so much. Shortly after this, one of my friends from the Sunshine Coast, who is now the Sunshine Coast franchisee, saw what I was doing. He is actually her name's Delai. And I'd worked with her previously in our water sports business, running events, and she saw what I was doing. So she was very keen to be involved in Diggermate. And it took her a few months to convince me to let her have a go at it. She basically wanted to have a go under my banner. Previous to my boat dealership, I was running events, and I was actually editor of a magazine for 10 years, and I was really system based. I still am. I love business systems, and on the back end of this, Dalai was telling me, I want to do Diggermate. I'm sure you've got some great systems in the background. I just want to use what you've got and have a go at it. So it took me a few months, probably 6 or 12 months now looking back at it, but I eventually let her have a go at it. And she took off with her business. It started to go quite well. That was about November, and then in about January, I met up with a cousin of mine that I hadn't seen for 10 years, and he wanted to have a go at it as well. So he started off the Diggermate in Langwarrin shortly after that, and he went really great as well. So at that point, I thought, wow, I better take this serious, and I better incorporate the correct franchise model. So we went about incorporating the franchise model. And Delai's still with us, and Corey is still with us. He's going really great. He's one of the strongest franchisees. So they're our first two, and since then we've really started to take off. So that's how it started. And what's the next bit? Oh yeah, okay. So that's how it started. Now, the great thing about Diggermate is that those two examples are two really good examples for Diggermate, and the reason why I feel it's so good and such a good franchise model is because of the thing called the Diggermate vision of success. So for Dalai, she had just come out of a cafe. She'd been running a cafe and working crazy hours, starting at ridiculous o'clock in the morning and not finishing until almost time to pick up the kids. So she wanted to just get out of the busyness of a full-time job and have a crack at Diggermate, because she saw that it was quite a good return for a small amount of hours, and she never really wanted to run a huge earth-moving business. She just wanted to make some good income on the side with not much work, which is basically what I was doing at the time with Diggermate, and what a lot of our franchisees continue to do. So her vision of success was just to do something on the side to bring in some income. Her husband was still working, and instead of being in a coffee shop, she wanted to just do a few hours work on the side with Diggermate and make some income. So that was her vision of success. Corey, on the other hand, down in Melbourne, down in Langwarrin, who I just spoke about, he is an arborist. So he works tree lopping, and his vision of success is to run Diggermate full time and replace his income, and then and blow Diggermate up to be as big as it possibly can be, which is basically what I did when I exited the boat dealership. So his vision of success is to have as many machines as he possibly can and get it going as the best he possibly can. Make as much money out of it as he can. And that is totally fine when it comes to the vision of success for Diggermate. And also Dalai's version of her vision of success is also totally fine as well. So depending on where you're at in your life, Diggermate fits in a lot of different areas. So,
and Mick, I might just comment on that there. And the reason that that's possible is because Diggermate's model is focused on the dry hire element. So maybe if you could just speak a little bit there, how this business does focus in on a niche in the market that allows for that flexibility of hours, because it's not purely based on manual hours and input of hours worked because of the niche market, which is the dry hire. So just to explain that to anyone who's not too sure about those differences.
Yeah, absolutely. In the next slide or two, I'll talk exactly about what happens on a day-to-day basis. But certainly the flow or the workload of Diggermate is even my Gold Coast franchise, which is pumps. Yeah. I'm still only spending maybe 3 hours a day on it, sometimes 1 hour a day. So this is not, it's a really, really great side hustle if you've already got a business and you're looking for some extra income. And when I started Diggermate, I had a boat dealership. It was going quite well from the outside, but being a lifestyle business and cash flow being seasonal, the money that I was taking home wasn't great, so I was looking for a side hustle. Also, I just had twin girls, so that made 3 kids, and my wife was looking at going out and getting a job. So instead of that, we decided to do the Diggermate thing, and I basically did Diggermate out of my driveway for the first 6 months. I started with 1 machine, had 2 machines, had 3 machines running out of my driveway, and basically my day consisted of waking up in the morning, about 6 o'clock, I'd walk outside, I'd offload my machines, I'd walk back inside at about 7 o'clock with a pocket full of cash, and basically my Diggermate day was done within an hour, and I had made basically the same income for that day within that hour that I was about to make, again, going to my 9-to-5 job. So, Diggermate can really be really a real great thing as a side hustle to make a good income in a short amount of time, or you can blow it up to be as big as you like. So, yeah.
There you go.
So, and finally, so that's the vision of success. If you're in a business at the minute, if you own your own business and you're just looking for some extra income in the side, that's fine. If you are looking to get out of your current business and want a new career, that's totally fine as well. Or if you're doing nothing right now and you want to start a new job or a new career or a new business, then that's totally fine as well. And we discuss that as a part of the onboarding process. What is your vision of success? what does that look like for you? So, I mean, I'll just give you one more example on this before we move on to the team and on to the next slide. Della on the Sunshine Coast was going quite well. She had 3 machines there about 12 months ago. She had 3 machines running, really busy, and she runs out of her driveway of her house still on the Sunshine Coast. Those 3 machines were turning over about 10 grand a month for her, and one of them was basically out on full-time hire. So when that full-time hire, which is a really great thing, when you get full-time hires, that's really good because you never see the machines and the money just keeps coming in. Basically, when that machine came back from full-time hire, she called me up and said, oh, look, I've got 3 machines running out of my driveway at the moment. I'd rather just, it's just a bit of a hassle having to have 3 machines, and I don't really want to move my business away from my house because it's easy. I just wake up in the morning, the kids are still having breakfast, I go out and I do the Diggamate thing, I come back inside, and then I can take my kids to school. I don't really want to move it away from my house. Having 3 machines in my driveway though is a real pain in my butt because I have to shuffle them around and it's a bit annoying for the neighbours. So I just want to knock back to 2 machines, and I understand I'm probably going to make a few grand less per month, but 2 machines is much easier for me. And I'm happy with Diggamate being just what it is, just that amount of money that covers my income for the month, my contribution to the family. I'm just going to run with 2 machines. And my response to that is, well, that's totally fine. That makes sense. If that's your vision of success, if your vision of success is this is just a side hustle and it's only ever going to be a side hustle and it's your second income for your family, then we're totally cool with that. We build systems and efficiencies around that for you. So that was just a really, just a really good example of how the vision of success could be different. Our North Lakes franchise, for example, is really pumping, and that's going to be a full-time business, and that's probably going to be one of our biggest ones. So, and that's just on a totally different scale. He wants to build it to be a full-time business. He wants to have the biggest franchise in Australia, and that's totally cool as well. So,
and I think that's really important because Mick, dealing with you guys in Diggamate, it's about the franchisees. So it's not about you and a lot of businesses that we see and franchisors. It's all about them and their income. That's not the case here, Mick. You've really created something that you're looking to I guess, share what you've been able to achieve, and then people can adapt that to the stage in their life that they're at, and rare in a business that you can scale up and down to suit your sort of desire. If you think about any sort of business where you have to take out a retail lease or a shop front of some description, you're stuck with fixed overheads and a position that can't change. Diggamate, has that flexibility, which I guess is what's so exciting. Hammer it as hard as you want, or run it in a way that, as Mick says, the side hustle is a really, a great part of the business to have that flexibility.
Yeah, and that's where I came from. With our boat dealership, we had a huge facility, floor planning of almost $2 million worth of boats, high overheads, a lot of stress. And when Diggamate came along for me, I'm like, wow, I can just do this thing. I do not much work. I can do it on the side. It just suits me, and I just make it real easy on myself and just take the money out of it.
And again, another comment I'll say there, and you may touch on it, but I guess it's the systems and the work that you've done that allow this to be possible. So it's different to, me going out and getting my own digger. That doesn't work like that. The reason why you're able to scale and focus on just the handing over of equipment and handing back of equipment with minimal hours of work is because of the amazing systems that Mick's put in place for booking online, for Google Analytics and advertising, but also, all the things that you haven't even thought of yet with insurances and leasing rates and ability to get the best deals in the market. So all those things are being taken care of. And that's the difference, is you get all the work that Mick's done in business systems. And as you mentioned earlier, he's a bit of a beast in the business systems side of things. And you get to adopt that, utilize it, be trained on it, be presented, and have the operations manuals to continue to understand the best way to run the business. But it sort of allows you then the flexibility because of the hard work's being done for you. Yeah,
totally. No doubt anyone can go and buy a digger and hire it out. Absolutely, anyone can do that. But being a part of and I understand that. I understand that anyone can go and do it. So the whole deal with Diggamate, for me, as a franchise group, is build efficiencies, build systems, and put in place a team behind the scenes which feels like a corporate level team is the way I'm sort of building it at the moment. There is a lot of support in the background. And just on that, the team in the background. So we've currently got a team of 7 behind the scenes. So I've got a team of 6. I've got my accounts person here on the Gold Coast, plus a team of 6 in the Philippines that work on everything from building the systems, digital marketing. Well, digital marketing is a big one, so we'll get onto that. But all sorts of support on a daily basis, admin support. So yeah, as you get into Digamate and look around and understand the systems we've got, you'll understand what the team does.
And that's probably a good point as we go on. This is an introduction to really say, hey, come and talk with us. What we'll then do is roll out and showcase that the areas of the business to highlight the power of it and to learn more. So that's certainly what the process is. Our job is through this as a starting point or a re-engagement with you guys is to say, come and learn more. And we leave no stone unturned, and it allows you to get some great insight into what life's going to be like when you join the team.
Yeah. Cool. So we'll just go a little bit further. So our market, who uses this? So I'll try and get through this reasonably quickly for you, because as James says, as we engage you further, we can go into more depth. But basically, who hires our machines? So our market is initially we target the DIYers, the backyarders, anybody doing work around their house. Our range of machines are specific to those type of people, and we have got tight access machines and machines that don't require licenses, and we really target the DIYers in the early stages. Trades is the next best one. So trades are consistent for you. So we've got a whole program to attract trades into your business, especially on the initial launch. There's ways we do that, and we bring a huge database of trades in your local area, and the team in the Philippines help out with that, building that database for you and hitting it with a big bang and trying to get trades. Now, trades take a little bit longer to get on board. DIYs every weekend. Once you crack the trade market, then these are the guys that come every week, and your business starts to become a lot more consistent. And then construction companies, obviously, when you get in with construction companies, they're the long-term contracts that you want. You know, we can have up to 12-month contracts with just one machine out, and that's a real gift when you can get them. That's just the money coming in week after week.
Absolutely. And the reason why the trades and construction companies look to these options is because for them, having the fixed overhead or investment and the hassles doesn't make sense for them, and they're passing on a lot of their costs to the client anyway. So it's the flexibility for them, and we're able to benefit from that.
Yeah. So how does our business work? Now, James touched on this a little earlier, and I spoke about the vision of success. So the way you want to run your business is up to you. As I said, if you want it to be a side hustle, if you want it to be a full-time gig, if you want to start it as a side hustle and then build it into a full-time gig, whatever that looks like for you, we can work in and work around you. So as far as the location goes, a lot of our franchisees just start at home, start in their driveway. Some guys get a yard straight away. If you can get a location with a bit of exposure, it's really great, because that combined with our digital marketing and our on-ground marketing efforts makes it a real great business.
Yeah, and that decision and that process will be determined based on your vision of success, the scale you're wanting to achieve, and your own personal circumstances. But Mick, with the last franchises you've launched, it involved finding those yards, helping to negotiate, and putting in place a spot for that business to be run. And other times it's gone straight out of the driveway. So that's part of the service that is provided when you launch. So we do find that solution for you.
Yeah, totally. Like the last 3 have been, one's out of the house, one's into a new yard, and the other one decided to rent a place in a location that would support them so they could live on site and be there. So really all 3 options are there. Yeah, for sure. Operating times. So operating times are flexible. We have a recommendation in relation to what times you should operate, but we certainly have a very strict policy when it comes to the clients in relation to what time or the fact that we have a dedicated pickup time. Drop-off times are flexible, but if you want to run your business with a pickup time at, say, 6:30 in the morning, we can do that. If you want it to be 7, if you want it to be 8, whatever works for you, we can discuss that. And how the machines are returned as well is also flexible. So we've got a system which can mold to your requirements. So we don't have a set of requirements that you have to stick to. We've got recommendations, certainly, of what has worked well in other locations, but the operating times for the business are totally up to you. If you don't want to work weekends, or if you want to have Sundays off, or if you want to do 7 days a week, or if you want to close on Tuesday, that's totally up to you. So obviously, the more days you're open, the more money you're going to make. But the point is, we are flexible because it's all around your vision of success. Finally, the equipment. So initially, the requirement for equipment is minimal. Initially, basically, you only need 1 machine, and we've had guys start with 3 machines, but initially just 1 machine. We hit it hard with marketing, and then you start to ramp up with machines. So it's not like you need to go into a huge amount of capital debt to get the business up and running. We recommend just starting off with 1 machine, and then from there we've actually identified the right machines to drop in at the right times. So we've been doing this for quite a while now, and we've tested, and we've succeeded, and we've tested, and we've failed, and we've tested and succeeded. So from that process, we understand what the right machines are to buy at the right time, and how that should relate to your income as well. So that's all fairly well formalized. So business operations. So what does a day look like for you in your Diggamate business? So basically, as I mentioned before, my day starts in the morning. My pickup time for machines is 6:30 in the morning. I get to my location at about 5:45. I hand over the machines by 7:30, depending on whether I'm going to go out and do any deliveries or not. My day for Diggamate is pretty much done by 7:30, and then I go on and, well, sometimes I come and sit in here. Sometimes I go surfing, depending on
what the waves are like.
In other places, yeah. But basically, it's a couple of hours in the morning, a couple of hours at night. We have got one of the real great things that I'm really, really proud of is our booking system. So as I mentioned at the top, I love business systems. And if you were to walk into my office at any day of the week, you'll see systems being built. And once you get involved in Diggamate, I can show you our internal hub, which has got all our business systems, and you can follow them quite well. But our online booking system is just, I believe, phenomenal. It took me about 2 years of testing, trying, researching, quite a lot of investment to get right, but I feel like I've nailed it. Our online booking system, you'll see the customer-facing end of the booking system online when you go onto diggamate.com.au and click on the Book Now button. Basically, it handles all the bookings. It handles your inventory control. So if you get up to, say, having 8 or 9 or 10 machines, and the different attachments and whatever, it will handle all your inventory, and it's really easy for you to answer questions in relation to what's available, or the customers online can see exactly what's available. It handles all our notifications, so our email notifications, our SMS, our requests for reviews for Google and Facebook, our reporting. It handles all accounting reporting, all our financial reports sit in there. So we can assess your business on a daily, weekly, monthly, annual basis. Our liability waivers sit in there. So everything basically sits within this booking system. Excuse me. And no paperwork is involved. Not a single piece of paperwork is required. You'll never, to run a Diggamate business, you'll never have to pick up a single piece of paper. So everything either sits on your phone, or sits on your computer, or sits on an iPad or a tablet device. or it can sit on all three at the one time. I'm really, really proud of this system, and it's totally paperless.
It's phenomenal, and not only easy for customers, but for franchisees, it's what makes the business so flexible, and it's certainly an exciting part of the business, and we will do a very in-depth presentation on that internal hub and the systems once you move to a certain stage. But it's certainly a cracking system.
Yeah, totally, and it's all about. For me, I love building systems, but it's all about making it easy to run the business. The least amount of time you can spend by getting the maximum reward, and that was where my brain was at when I started. Yep. When I was working my 9 to 5 in my boat dealership, and I was really busy between 9 and 5, and then I could do this other business on the side that made me just as much money as this business. I really wanted to just keep on building the efficiencies in, and that's what the booking system is. And then obviously, as I said, the internal hub is where we keep all our systems, and I can show you all that. And if you ever need a reference of, how to do something on the booking system, we've got videos for everything. How you answer a phone to take a call, we've got videos on how to do that. Any repairs on the machines, any service requirements, we've got videos.
There's full operation manual and systems and through the training that you learn, but also the ongoing support. And then also we're creating a network with our franchisees because the territories are so well defined. It's really a supportive environment. So ringing up your co-franchisee from another state or area, or working together on things that's the sort of family that DiggerMate's looking to build.
Yeah. And one thing I've just realized I haven't added to this webinar is our annual dealer conference, or our franchisee conference. So that's really cool. We all get together, discuss the latest things, because year on year, we're doing a lot of things in the background. But I really believe that the discussion in the team is really valuable, because what happens in one location might differ from another location. And when we all get together and share our ideas and pull them together and all agree that somebody knows a better way to do it than us, then that's a real win for me. And that's, the DiggerMate conference is great to get everyone together, but when we can have wins by franchisees contributing as well, I think that's great. So I'm all about that. Excuse me. So just some information, some financial information. The rates for DiggerMate. So we, in our initial onboarding, we set up the rates, and now we know what the rates are around Australia, what competitive rates are, what the rates are that we need to achieve to make you profitable. And they do differ in some locations. So our online booking system, again, and the whole back end of that allows for each location to have different daily rates, weekly rates, monthly rates. Again, we've got a set of recommendations, but if you really feel like your rates need to be different for whatever reason, we can, within reason, mold the rates and what you charge around your region to make sure that you're competitive and you're right in the slot that you need to be in. Our booking system collects all the income for the month. So our online booking system, which you'll see if you go through and have a look at the online booking system, customers need to pay when they book the system. That comes into a franchisee bank account, and we disperse the money each month on the 5th of each month following the month just gone. Our franchise fees are already taken out of that. So basically our franchise fees are 7%. There's a little bit more information that James will take you through.
Yeah, and just on that, we've got some really detailed historical information. So it's a real open book position that we take. We'll be able to show you average results and historical performances, and really clearly detail the level of fees and where and when they happen. So that'll be a separate meeting that we go into much more detail. But again, open book with DiggerMate, so you'll certainly have all these questions answered, and we'll go through that at the right time with you one-on-one.
Yeah, and the other good thing is with this booking system, I can sit down with you and show you what's happening all around Australia with all the other locations. So totally, is an open book. There's no secrets. Everybody, once you get involved in the business, then everybody wants to succeed as much as the next person. So the more we can share that information, the better off we're going to be. So, Cash sales. So so people ask about cash sales. So yes, we can do cash sales, or you can do cash sales in your business. There, just because we have an online booking system that requires customers to pay before they hire doesn't mean you can't do cash sales. So we can do that. We can do customer accounts. So for trade customers, we can set up accounts for them. And then we've got accounts receivable control as well. So our booking system will allow you to control and see who's paid and who hasn't. So it really is an all-in-one system there. And it's quite, I was going to say flexible, but flexible is probably not the right word, but all our franchisees really love it, and we haven't come up with a problem that we can't get over yet in relation to what somebody wants to see or somebody wants to do with that booking system. So yeah. Excuse me, I've got a bug in my throat all of a sudden. Liability and risk. So insurance. Now this is a huge one. Obviously, when we're hiring out machinery, insurance and liability is a big deal. We want to make sure we're covered. So one thing that our team does behind the scenes is make sure we keep a record of all machines around Australia. We've got a national policy with our insurance company, so we get rates cheaper than what you would otherwise get them if you were just a standalone operator. Our waiver system obviously sits in our booking app, and you just need to make sure that everybody signs the waiver. That sits there forever. And for you to go out and get a waiver and get that signed off by a lawyer, it's quite expensive. I've done it quite a few times now. We've made changes to it. And
that is part of what you're getting. This has been proven and tested and best practice over time. So that's why you go with a national brand and piggyback on the work that Mick's done, is that you have those insurance, the waiver systems, the liabilities are all taken care of, and you set your business up correctly from the start to protect yourself and your customers. So liability and risk is certainly a huge part of what you're reducing and having improved position on because of joining a national brand like Diggamate.
Yeah, and we've been through this too. We've tested out unfortunately, we've had to test out
the biggest thing that you're doing when you're entering a franchise system is you're purchasing the mistakes or the learnings of the franchisor. So, it's taken time to perfect this model, and it'll continue to improve. But that is the beauty of what Mick's been through, and that you're able to come on board at a time where it's humming.
Yeah, totally. So your requirements are basically to make sure that the machines are up to date as far as their service schedule goes, and make sure the appropriate documentation is completed there. Make sure the pre-checks are done before the machines go out, and make sure the waivers are completed, and that covers you as far as your liability and risk, and our insurance policy and our systems take care of the rest. Oh, lead generation. This is the big one. This is the one that I love the most. So, as we said to start with, anybody can buy a digger and start to hire it out. But making the phone ring and ensuring it keeps ringing and keeping your business at top of mind for the next person who is looking for you is the big one. And this is the bit that I love. So as I mentioned, we've got a team of 6 in the Philippines, and of that we've got 2 accounts people, and the rest are digital marketing designers, Google AdWords specialists, Facebook specialists, e-marketing specialists. We've got a whole series, and I can show you as the discussions progress, a whole series of things that we do to launch the business, and we cover off everything. We cover the Facebook. We've got Google My Business registration that will happen before the business kicks off. Google AdWords, which you get a Google AdWords report at the end of every month, specific to your location, specific to your budget. E-marketing rolls out. We can do that specific to your location as well, or you just get dropped in. All your clients get dropped into the national rollout of e-marketing monthly. Our SMS program is really cool. The SMS works off the back of our booking system. It also works off we have an external process for SMS and bringing people into the funnel and getting them on board to use Diggamate. And then all our local business listings. If you can find a local business listing that Diggamate is not in, please tell us about it, because we will get it in there, and we will get all the franchises in there. But as far as I know, all the local listings, things like local listing and white pages, yellow pages, anything like that, we've got that covered from the get-go. So we really try and hit it hard from the start. Now, this for me, when I started my business, I did one or two of these things, and over 5 years, 6 years, I eventually got them all going. And when we implement a new Digger Mate location now, we get all these going at step one, which is really great.
Yeah, and then reviewing it as well, I guess, is important because each area is different. So you're part of the support that goes on is the monthly review on how these are performing and the discussion on where to put more budget and to increase. And if you're wanting to scale that business as part of your vision for success, we can look at ways of increasing the investment and getting more from that. So, and then obviously, as you're about to start talking about on the ground is critical as well. And Mick, if you want to jump into
so that's all our stuff, and just as James said, reviewing it, and at the top I spoke about my seasonal business, whereas this is not a seasonal business. This is month in, month out, and the greatest thing about this is we can review things every month and make improvements, and that's what we do. So that's for digital marketing and even on the ground marketing. But on the ground marketing, we supply some local signage for you, but we've also got a team of designers in the background. If you want to sponsor a local football club, or if you want to get some signs made up somewhere, local signage is great. Trailers, fence signs, we've got templates for all that stuff. We supply you with the business cards and the flyers. Local business contacts. So as I mentioned, we've got a whole process around e-marketing and SMS for local businesses, but the more the franchisee on the ground can discuss and make a relationship with local businesses, then that's another win. And then social proof is a huge one. Social proof is basically asking for reviews on Facebook and Google or anywhere else. Now, what we found is our digital marketing efforts work really, really well in getting reviews when the person is standing face to face with the customer and actually asks for the review, right? So when you ask for the review and then that review is automatically followed up, or that request, is automatically followed up 12 hours later with an SMS and an email saying, oh yeah, that's right. Digger Mate asked me to review them and I've just sent it on my phone, I'll review it. So, that's a huge thing. If you can just ask for reviews, for me, that is the number one thing. Anybody on the ground.
Validation.
Your marketing efforts really support that. Our team in the background is always firing things out and supporting those words that come out your mouth. Can I please get a review from you? It will really help my business. So there's, I think you can hear the intensity of my excitement increase when it comes to lead generation and marketing. I love it. It's really, it's a huge part of me, and it's a huge part of why Digger Mate is so successful today. So for the future, we're on a really big upswing at the moment. We hope to double our franchise numbers over the next 12 months and 24 months. Our team in the Philippines is continually improving themselves. Likewise, I am as well. But on a monthly basis, we sit down and discuss how we can make it better. You saw those digital marketing things we put in place. If there's anything we're missing, we put them in place. We're continually improving the systems. We're continually training ourselves and educating ourselves to do this better. Personally, I travel around. Excuse me again. Personally, sorry, James.
I was just going to say as well, just with those growth plans, the exciting part as well is as that network increases in size, our footprint and our ability to be seen and heard gets easier and better for each franchisee. So the exciting part is how well the team's smashing it at the moment. When that network doubles and doubles again, it becomes a real force and a snowball effect with the sort of cut through that we can get right across the country. So it's exciting that it's an upward trend from here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's true because as we implement more locations, it feels like it's the momentum that goes with that and makes it easier and easier each time we do it. So it's great. Yeah, personally, I'm attending 4 to 6 conferences a year in digital marketing. So I go out and you know, the marketing thing for me is huge when it comes to Diggamate. So, well, it's actually marketing and business systems, but I am continually traveling, continually going to seminars, and continually bringing back information to educate my team. Even right now, the list of things that we want to achieve with Diggamate as far as lead generation and more targeted direct marketing is really exciting and huge. So there's a lot happening in the back end, and we're certainly not resting on our laurels. We feel like we're just getting going with this program and this business, and really excited to see how far we can take it. So that's about it. I think, if we missed anything else, James?
No, look, I think the next thing here is obviously you're going to be receiving this webinar via email. So hopefully you've got to this point and got the chance to hear from Mick. And from there, look, main thing is approachable. We're here to answer questions. We're not here to sell you a franchise. We want to work out if this fits in with your lifestyle and your vision of goals. So I think that the biggest parts from here is that once we're able to meet up with you, we answer questions, we're there and available, and we'll see whether this works for you. But and then there's a process to go through. You know, we're a best practice franchise system, so we make sure you get legal advice. We help you with any finance solution and discussions, and really we're excited to welcome you to the family. And you know, certainly working with Mick, it's been really exciting to watch how he's looked after his franchisees, and yeah, get on board.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, I would just like to encourage everybody to you know, if you're considering it further, if you think it's for you, please contact the current franchisees. Everybody is more than happy to talk to you. Just call up and say, hey, I'm thinking about launching a Diggamate. Just listen to what they've got to say. And I think there'll be plenty of social proof there for us as well to prove that what we've said in this webinar is actually true. So I hope I haven't rushed through it too much. I know I get really excited when I start talking about it, especially when things excite me. I start to talk really fast and jump back and forth, and sometimes my mouth doesn't go as fast as my brain. So I hope it's been okay, and I hope you've understood. And yeah, I hope to talk to you all again soon.
Good stuff.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.